At 3 a.m., my phone rang. I answered half asleep, expecting a drunk call from a friend. Instead, I heard nothing. Just breathing. Weak, wet, struggling. I asked over and over, "Bill, you there?" No response. So I hung up. And that decision still haunts me. Because a few hours later, we learned the truth. Bill wasn't drunk. He was dying. And two men in uniform were about to lose their entire lives because of it. If you've ever seen someone bullied by people who thought they were untouchable, this story is going to hit hard. Hit like, subscribe, and settle in. Because today's revenge story isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet, official, and absolutely devastating. I met Bill in Navy boot camp. If you picture the stereotypical sailor, tall, muscular, confident, Bill wasn't that guy. He was short, slightly overweight, glasses constantly slipping down his nose. The kind of person people underestimated within 5 seconds. But Bill had something most people didn't. He was brilliant. The Navy had placed us both into sonar technician training, one of the most technical jobs you can get. It wasn't about brute strength. It was math, sound analysis, pattern recognition, computers. You hunted invisible threats underwater using intelligence. Bill's brain was built for it. He could analyze problems calmly while everyone else panicked. Where others reacted emotionally, Bill thought logically. And honestly, he would have been incredible in the fleet. But intelligence doesn't protect you from the wrong leaders. Our instructors were two petty officers. I won't use their real names. Let's call them Harris and Cole. These guys thought they were elite warriors, trapped in a classroom full of nerds. They lived at the gym, talked nonstop about discipline, acted like Navy SEALs, despite teaching sonar theory. And from day one, they decided Bill was their target. It started small. "Pick up the pace, fatty. Move faster. You call that running?" We laughed nervously at first. Military humor can be harsh. But it didn't stop. It escalated. Every workout, every inspection, every opportunity, they singled Bill out. While the rest of us trained, Bill endured humiliation. Here's the important part. Bill met Navy standards. He passed physical assessments. He did everything required. But Harris and Cole didn't want standards. They wanted perfection. No, worse. They wanted dominance. They needed someone weaker to prove how strong they were. And Bill, kind and non-confrontational, became their punching bag. They called him lazy, worthless, a burden to the Navy. One day during PT, I heard Harris laugh and say, "Maybe you should just quit. Save everyone the trouble." Bill laughed it off. But I noticed something. He stopped talking as much, stopped joking, stopped eating with us. The light behind his eyes dimmed.
Then Bill injured his knee. Badly. Medical examined him and placed him on light duty. Official paperwork. Doctor-ordered recovery. End of discussion, right? Wrong. Harris looked at the paperwork, tossed it aside, and said, "You're working out anyway." Bill tried to explain. They threatened him. "You don't keep up? We'll recommend you for separation." In the military, that's terrifying. Your career, your identity, your future, gone. So Bill kept running, every step destroying his knee further, every day proving he was willing to suffer just to belong. The insults got darker, not teasing anymore, personal, cruel. They told him he was weak, that nobody respected him, that he didn't deserve the uniform. And eventually, They crossed a line no leader should ever cross. They told him he should kill himself. Not once, repeatedly. And here's the terrifying truth about bullying. It doesn't destroy you instantly. It erodes you, day by day, until you start believing the voice hurting you.
At the time, mental health resources weren't what they are today. If you needed emotional support, you went to the chaplain. Our chaplain was a tiny woman, warm smile, soft voice, endlessly kind. But she held the rank of captain, which meant power, real power. Bill scheduled an appointment with her, the first real step toward getting help. When Harris and Cole found out, they exploded. You're seriously going to cry to the chaplain? Pathetic. No one cares about your problems. They promised his life would become hell if he skipped training. They mocked him until shame replaced courage. And Bill canceled the appointment. The help he needed? He turned away from it. That same night, Bill's girlfriend broke up with him. To outsiders, it sounded small. But when someone is already drowning, one more wave is enough. At 3 a.m., my phone rang. Bill's name appeared on the screen. I answered. Silence. Breathing. Struggling sounds. I asked again and again if he was okay. Nothing. I assumed it was a drunk dial. Hung up, went back to sleep. I wish I hadn't. Because Bill had slit his own throat.
The next morning, chaos erupted. Phones ringing everywhere. His ex-girlfriend told us he was in the hospital. Critical condition. Multiple friends received the same silent call. Bill had been trying to reach us. He just couldn't speak. We rushed to the hospital. And in the hallway, we saw the chaplain. She stopped us. Said quietly, "He's alive." Relief hit like oxygen after drowning. Then I saw her face. I had never seen rage like that. Not shouting, not dramatic. Cold, focused, controlled fury. She said one sentence. "I won't forget this." And we all knew someone's career was already over.
Bill survived by pure chance. The cold weather caused blood to clot externally. A natural patch formed long enough for EMS to arrive. The doctor told us he missed his carotid artery by a millimeter. 1 millimeter separated life and death. When we visited him, he could barely talk. But he whispered how convinced he'd been that nobody cared. How ashamed he felt asking for help. How the constant humiliation convinced him he didn't belong anywhere. And how relieved he was that he failed. That moment broke all of us. A week passed. Then we were summoned by the Chief of Training Command. He asked calm questions, checked on our well-being, then asked carefully, "Have these instructors ever behaved inappropriately toward you?" We told the truth. Lies they told. Unfair punishments. Manipulation. Harassment. Looking back, I don't think our answers mattered. The decision had already been made. They were gathering ammunition.
The next morning, Harris and Cole were gone. No announcement, no farewell. New instructors introduced immediately. Just like that. Erased. Military efficiency at its finest. I later visited the chaplain to thank her. She looked exhausted, sad, and still angry. She told me she went directly to the admiral commanding the entire base. She explained everything. How 2 leaders bullied a sailor away from seeking help. How their actions contributed to a suicide attempt. and she demanded action. Immediate action. The Admiral agreed.
Both petty officers were processed out. Administrative separation, other than honorable discharge. In military terms, life-ending consequences. No veteran benefits, no retirement, no health care, no housing. No career future tied to defense contracts. One of them had served 18 years. 2 years from retirement. Gone. The other had 12 years invested. Gone. They lost base housing, lost stability, lost identity. The Navy paid for a single bus ticket home. Nothing else. No safety net, no second chances. The institution they weaponized against others removed them completely. Quietly, permanently.
No one cheered. There was no victory party. Just a strange calm. Because this wasn't revenge born from anger. It was accountability. Leadership protecting the vulnerable. For once, the system worked. And the people who abused power discovered rank does not equal immunity. Bill received a medical discharge. Honorable. Full benefits. Financial support. Counseling. The Navy acknowledged the damage done to him. Last I saw online years later, he rebuilt his life. He became a police officer, got married, smiling in photos, alive, thriving. Proof that someone can come back from the edge.
The real revenge wasn't watching two bullies fall. It was this. The man they tried to erase survived. The career they mocked became meaningful. And the leaders who told someone to end his life lost everything they'd spent decades building. Not through shouting, not through violence, but through consequences. Cold, official, unavoidable. Sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone back. Sometimes it's simply letting truth reach the right person. Because when power finally listens, justice doesn't need to scream. It just signs paperwork. If this story hits you emotionally, leave a like and tell me in the comments. Have you ever seen karma arrive exactly when it was needed most? And if you enjoy powerful, real revenge stories like this one, subscribe, because the next story might be even more unbelievable. Until next time, take care of each other. You never know who's fighting a battle you can't see.